There we are. Welcome to another edition of Gen Sports Corner back at you for 11/7/2021. A lot to talk about. NFL Week 9 predictions, breakdowns. We're going to talk about the fight from last night. History was made. And then we're going to talk about the Sixers and their win over the Bulls last night. So let's get into it. First and foremost, big fight last night between Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant for the title of undisputed champion at super-middleweight. First, there's never been an undisputed champion at 168, and Canelo Alvarez was able to defeat Caleb Plant last night by stoppage in the 11th round. Excuse me. To win the IBF title and unify all four belts for the first time at 168, and I believe he's the first unified Mexican champion at any weight class. So kudos to him, and he accomplished history, man. Caleb Plant showed up to fight. He didn't show up for a check, but he just was not ready for Canelo Alvarez. I put out a prediction video last night, and that's what I stated. I stated that I thought that Caleb Plant was a very good fighter, but he was just a little too green right now, similar to the way that Canelo Alvarez was when he fought Floyd Mayweather. He was a good fighter at the time, but he was not. He didn't have. He knew the highways and the major roads, but he didn't know the back roads. Compared to a fighter like Canelo right now, he knows the major roads, the back roads, the highways, the driveways, everything. He has the experience factor that played into his favor. So great win for him. Uh, Amazing fight. And so that's that for the boxing side of things. Moving on to the Sixers last night. Nice win over the Bulls. The Bulls are a much better team this year. And the Sixers, without Tobias Harris, without Ben Simmons, Embiid came in, showed up, showed out. 30 points and I believe 15 rebounds or 18 rebounds, something like that. And then hit a dagger three near the end of the game and turned to the crowd and waved goodbye, said beat the traffic. Look, he's doing it all. He's showing you what a center slash point guard looks like. I don't think we've ever seen a guy like that outside of Embiid and Giannis. Who else is able to do what they do, right? So he's hitting like step back threes, hop back threes, like he's James Harden, but he's 7'2", 270. It's crazy. So kudos to the Sixers for getting it done. Looking very good out there. Loving what I'm seeing out of Tyrese Maxey. And we'll see how the Sixers progress moving forward. But great win last night for them. And then let's move on to the main slate, NFL Week 9 action. I'm not going to go through every game. My allergies are bothering me a little bit. I'm not going to go through every game, but I'm going to, hit up the Eagles versus the Chargers, the Raiders versus the New York Giants, as well as the one that's sticking out to me today, which will be Green Bay versus the Chiefs. Because the whole thing that's happening with Aaron Rodgers, and I have to read into it a little further, but from what I'm gathering so far, he was not vaccinated and he tested positive. He had the team possibly and definitely the media under the impression that he was immunized or whatnot. And the fact of the matter was he was never vaccinated and he put his team at risk, right? There's too much gray area. I don't know enough of the details, but from what I'm gathering, it seems like there was the illusion that he was vaccinated when he was not. And that's the problem. That's the issue. It's not cool. You put your teammates at risk, you put the team at risk. Not a good look. So the question is Jalen Love going to get his first start and be successful today against these Chiefs? That's the question. Because you're getting a glimpse into the possible future of the Packers with Jalen Love. I don't remember his first name. Their first round, their backup quarterback. So is he going to be the guy for the future after Aaron Rodgers is gone? That's the question that they're going to have to answer for themselves today. They're going to have to see if they see some good things because make no mistake, this Chiefs defense is very bad. They're not that good, but they're facing a guy who, in his previous action, I mean, he's a rookie. He he's a young guy, he didn't have much success. I think he had like a sack and a fumble or something like that. So we'll see what he does. We'll see what he does. That being said, let's go ahead and move on to the playing them home or away. I believe we're playing. I believe we're we are. We're playing at the Giants. Raiders are 5-2. Giants are 2-6. Big matchup here. Obviously, Henry Ruggs the third released from the team following that horrific accident a couple days ago. Last Tuesday, excuse me. But Darren Waller is back, so that's big. So he's going to get a lot of targets, as well as Henry Renfro. He's going to get a lot of targets, and then this Giants defense, this pass defense is not good at all. You have Leonard Williams, and I can't remember the other guy's name with their pass rush, but their secondary is not good. They're in the bottom 5 of the league. I know that much in terms of pass defense, yards given up. And Derek Carr quietly in the conversation for MVP. I don't know why people aren't talking about it more. He's on pace right now for the most yards thrown in the season because he's averaging the most yards per game through the air, which I didn't even notice that. But Derek Carr is averaging the most yards per game in the NFL, and he's on pace for the most to break the record set by was it Brady or Manning for most yards in this season. So you have really sharp quarterback who takes sacks at times, but he's pretty good. He takes sacks at times going against a very bad Giants defense. Even without Henry Ruggs, I think the Raiders are in a good spot with Josh Jacobs coming back to pound the rock and then air the ball out against a very weak Giants secondary. So I'm going to go with the Raiders to cover the 3-point spread in this game. The Giants, they still don't have Saquon. They're really banged up at wide receiver. Kadarius Toney, whatever. He's healthy. I think Kenny Golladay will be starting today as well. But Sterling Shepard's out. Evan Ingram has not been playing like the past Evan Ingram. And Daniel Jones he's fighting for his job at this point, really. So their record is who it says they are. They are 2-16 for a reason. And I don't see them winning this game against the Raiders. So I'm going with Las Vegas to take this game. And then the second game on this slate for us, Eagles versus the Chargers. Let's see. Eagles at the link. Oh man, the money line was 1.5 points for Vegas. I mean for the Chargers. Now it's even for the Eagles. And looking at all the injuries and the matchups now, the way they're playing out, I think I'm actually going to have to go with the Eagles in this game for a couple reasons. One, for whatever reason, the Eagles gave the rock to the running backs and just pounded the ball against the Lions last week. And I don't see any reason for them not to do that again this week because you're looking at the worst or one of the worst run defenses in the NFL in the Chargers. They're solid against the pass, but against the run, they are horrible. I think they're giving up like 5 yards a carry or something like that. And the Eagles with Jalen Hurts, I think in terms of quarterbacks, might be second in terms of like yards per carry and total yards. I think he has like 450 yards on the ground. He's leading the team in rushing yards and attempts. So it's clear that he's going to be able to get the ball on the read option, but they're not good against the run. And secondly, both of their cornerbacks are out, Asante Samuel Jr. and then another cornerback. I can't bring him to mind, but they are banged up on the outskirts of that secondary. Obviously, you have Derwin James patrolling the middle of the field at safety, but you are severely compromised on the outside. I'll be looking for Jalen Reagor, who's good to go, to get some success on the outside, especially on the short screens, as well as Quez Watkins. But definitely Devontae Smith. I'm debating whether I'm going to start him at my flex spot because he has a very juicy matchup with those injuries in that secondary. And the right side of that line for the Chargers is banged up. Justin Herbert, very good quarterback, has been kind of up and down in the past 2 weeks. They're on a 2-game losing streak, and they really need this win. They are currently in the 7th spot in the AFC for the playoff race in that wild card spot, and the Eagles are sitting right outside the number 7 spot with the 49ers and a few other teams. So this is a critical game for both teams, and I think the Eagles are catching them at a good time. The secondary is playing better, and that's going to give me a little more confidence with them going up against Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. You know what they bring, you know what they are. The issue here is the Eagles also have not been great against the run, and you're going up against Austin Eckler. You know what he is. He can run the ball well. Obviously, a phenomenal receiving back out of the backfield. I just think that the Chargers' rush defense is going to be more of a liability alongside with them being banged up in the secondary than the Eagles' defense will be. So I'm going to pick the Eagles here. I originally was going to pick the Chargers to win this game and cover the 1.5 point spread that was earlier this week, but I'm going to actually go with the Eagles now, with learning of these injuries and actually looking at the matchup, at least on the ground game. Jalen Hurts might have a big game, not just on the ground, which I think he will, but possibly through the air because of those injuries. Let me know what you guys think. Those are my picks. Brian Edwards, yeah, bro. I'm actually thinking about picking up Brian Edwards on my fantasy team. He's sitting out there. So, question for you. Here's my fantasy squad right now. Let's bring it up. So, for my starting wide receivers, my locks are Hollywood Brown and then Amari Cooper. Those are my locks because Amari Cooper, I know that Denver defense is good, but I think they're going to have a good day against Denver. Marquise Brown, he's going to have a field day against Minnesota. Minnesota, they struggled last week against Dallas and Cooper Rush. So I don't see any reason for Marquise Brown. He has a matchup. I forgot the cornerback's name. Breland for Minnesota. He got torched last week, and he's going to get torched this week again against Marquise Brown. So my flex is Christian Kirk. And I'm debating whether I'm going to start Christian Kirk or Brandon Edwards. Yeah, Brown's definitely going to get his. Yeah, absolutely. I mean Brandon Edwards. Brian Edwards. I'm debating between Edwards and Christian Kirk because no, no, damn it, DeAndre Hopkins is going to be out, and a lot of the targets are going to go to Christian Kirk, in my opinion. I don't think Kyler Murray is going to start, so that's kind of concerning me here. But even regardless of that, the fact that Hopkins is going to be out makes me think that Christian Kirk is going to get a lot of volume. They're playing the 49ers 425. So, especially if the 49ers are able to jump out to a lead, I can see Christian Kirk being somebody that they lean on. But yeah, like I was saying, because this Giants defense is so bad, that's why I'm thinking about picking up Brian Edwards and putting him in my flex spot. Especially if Kyler Murray is going to be out. Because like my thing was like Kyler is going to be starting, and then if Kyler's starting and DeAndre Hopkins is out, oh, then the volume is going to go to Christian Kirk. So I think I'm going to pick up Brian Edwards. I'm just trying to figure out who to drop because I had Emmanuel Sanders. I know he put up a donut last week, but I just don't see that happening again, and I don't want to lose in the free agency and somebody pick him up. So I'm thinking about. Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking about either dropping Khalil Herbert from the Bears, the running back, or dropping Christian Kirk this week to pick up Brian Edwards. What you think? What say you, sir? Yeah, I think I'm because Khalil Herbert, he has a really tough matchup against the Steelers today. I mean tomorrow night on Monday Night Football. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, I think I'm gonna drop Herbert for Edwards. Yeah, great minds think alike, man. Great minds think alike. So every time I think that I'm getting some stability, like 10 people on my roster get injured, and I always have to scramble during that week to to try to piece together things. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm concerned about. Brian Edwards, and yeah, I think Brian Edwards, regardless of like the matchup this week, I think is a really good stash moving forward because, yeah, Darren Waller's going to see a big uptick in volume, but from watching the games, Derek Carr has been targeting Brian Edwards. Like you think it's third and Renfro, Brian Edwards has been getting a lot of targets when he's looking for somebody to make a play. 89 is often in his eyesight. That hasn't been lost upon me. So, yep, we dropping Herbert for Edwards. Boom. He's my flex. Let's rock, man. Hey, appreciate the input. And yo, let's get ready for these games, man. Appreciate you tuning in. I'll catch you on the next episode. Make sure you check out the prediction vid from last night from the boxing match. I predicted Canelo by stoppage in round 9. I wasn't too far off. So, hey, I try to do my best to give our guys a prediction. I say don't bet on boxing, but if you do, listen to me. That being said, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy your Sunday. Be safe, eat well, and I'll catch y'all after the games. Peace.